Hi, and welcome to the latest HR180 vlog. Today we're going to be talking about servant leadership, hence the cap. Now, when I talk about servant leadership with our clients, a lot of them look at me as though I am completely mad. And you can see their thought process. I didn't work 70-hour weeks starting my business from a back bedroom to be a mere servant. But that's because they see servant leadership as this kind of scenario. Cindy turns up for work on Monday. Bob, her manager, is there waiting to open her car door and welcome her into the office with smiles and a bow. At exactly 11 a.m, Bob arrives at Cindy's desk with a mid-morning snack and a cup of delicious coffee. He then waits patiently by Cindy's desk just in case she needs some assistance or support with her work, and so on, in perpetuity. But that is not servant leadership, that is only servitude. So, I can hear you all shouting at me, well, what is it then? Principally, servant leadership means putting the interests of others above your own. The concept itself is centuries old. Even the Bible quotes Jesus as saying, "Let the greatest among you become as the youngest, and the leader as one who serves." But the phrase servant leadership was first coined in an essay by Robert Greenleaf in 1970, and he said, "The servant leader is servant first. It begins with the natural feeling that one wants to serve first, and then conscious choice brings one to aspire to lead." He then goes on to talk about how this is in stark contrast to those who are a leader first, as typically this is more about ego, power, the need for status and material possessions. But he also discusses how these are extremes of each type, and as with most things in life, there are shadings and blends of grey between them all. For me, the servant leader is there to facilitate, to support, to coach. Their primary focus is on employee well-being, enabling people to grow and reach their full potential, and supporting the communities of which they are part and belong. I thought you might like some other opinions, and so I asked a few of our clients' employees what servant leadership meant to them, and they said, "My manager advocates for me and makes me feel valued. My manager gives me enough rope to manoeuvre on my own, but creates a comfortable environment where I can approach her for help and guidance when I'm stuck. My manager helps me to jump through whatever new hoops the directors have imposed on me next." That was certainly a very revealing one. They challenge those of us who need it and are not afraid to be firm either, but mainly you know they're always there for you. So rather than being an actual servant, what can you do to empower and engage your teams using servant-led leadership tools? Now, as you know, I really like my top 5 tips, so not surprisingly, here comes number 1. Do they know your care? Being knowledgeable does not make you a good leader, it makes you a very skilled technician. But caring is at the centre of leadership. Showing you care actually and genuinely is worth more than any bonus and means that loyalty, service and engagement are a natural byproduct. True servant leaders often inspire exceptional levels of trust in others by doing something as simple as listening and not fixing. You can, though, get creative with showing your team you care. From just knowing what's happening in each person's life or offering a word of encouragement when they're struggling at home, to handwriting them a quick note, creating opportunities for new experiences, or bringing them all a pancake on Pancake Day. I once spent a whole weekend hand-making felt hearts to say thank you for a big project the team had worked on. Number 2. Delegate to your team. Servant leaders don't hoard power, they share it with their team. And this is usually a great sign that the leader is self-aware, self-confident, and comfortable in their own skin and experience. It's important to note they delegate, not abdicate their total responsibilities. They also delegate to develop people because they know that experiential learning is an excellent way to increase knowledge and wisdom in small, incremental, supported steps. This in turn forms more leaders in the business. Finally, they delegate to build trust, and you can only do this by trusting. Micromanagement couldn't be any further from saying I don't trust you. So doing the opposite and demonstrating your trust in one person at a time ultimately results in the team trusting you and vice versa. Number 3, turn the pyramid. Most organisations work top down, but collaborative partnership gains the most traction and results in the best innovations. Why have an employee suggestion bot sit in reception when you can actually just make sure that every employee is given the regular opportunity to tell you what they think, make suggestions or remove barriers? While some of our more junior employees might not always understand the commercial intricacies or the full consequences of their suggestions, we've usually still been able to work them up as a team into something that's a workable plan or solution. This gives them exposure to the creative ideas process, innovation, and the commercial realities of running a business. Instead of trying to keep or accumulate power, focus on giving it away. Another turn the pyramid is, instead of spending your time defining the expectations, KPIs and objectives for your team, spend it on identifying how you can support them. By being totally clear about your purpose and what you stand for and living this every day yourself, everyone in the organisation starts subconsciously working towards it too, meaning less need for expectations or KPIs because actually it's just normal behaviour. Number 4. No job is beneath you. I've lost count of the times I've cleaned limescale off the sink or the toilet, or used the carpet cleaner to clean our welcome mat, or cleaned out the insides of our coffee machine. I was even inside the skip at one point when we moved. And why do I do that? Because I'm no blooming better than anyone else. Why should I get the perks and the top tip bits? Although, to be fair, I do allow myself the use of the good coffee machine on a morning. Most of us started at the very bottom of the ladder and leveraged whatever opportunity and lessons we could to climb up it. We should never forget those roots, nor believe that we're now above them. Mucking in to do the dirty jobs fosters respect, the feeling of connectedness and understanding of what it's like. There's a reason there's a whole business programme devoted to going back to the floor. Number 5, build a community. By caring, delegating, trusting, growing potential and being clear about your purpose, you start to build a community. That could be internal at first, but then it can start to include other family members such as clients, suppliers and partners. Soon you're all coming together for a common purpose, and through that you create a feeling of belonging to something bigger than each person with amazing loyalty and team spirit. There, so that's all there is to it. You're probably doing most of that anyway, but now you actually have a name for it. Don't forget, it's not something simply warm and fuzzy. This makes a significant positive difference to your bottom line. Thanks for watching. Until next time.